Welcome to the House of Coaching Deep Dive podcast with Marsha and John. Join them as they explore the wealth of knowledge from leading coaches Steph, Carl, and Hans.
Bring out the best in you. Feel the sky turn blue.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
We're so glad to be kicking off 2025 with you.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but time seems to be moving faster and faster these days.
It really does feel that way sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like just yesterday, we were making resolutions for 2024.
Exactly.
Crazy.
But speaking of time, I'm really excited to dive into something fascinating we came across over the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
We were lucky enough to have a little downtime, and we spent some of it exploring a document from our colleague, Hans DeMeyer, at the House of Coaching.
Yeah. He's doing some really interesting work in the field of personal development and coaching.
He is, and in this document, he outlines a concept called the 360-degree time compass,
Okay.
a way of understanding and interacting with time that really caught our attention.
Yeah. It's a compelling model.
Yeah.
It challenges that traditional linear view of time, suggesting that instead of a straight line, time is more like a multidimensional field. Imagine a constant flow of time, almost like streams moving all around you.
Okay, I've tried to picture this.
Yeah.
So instead of time being a path, we're walking along.
Yeah.
It's more like we're standing in the middle of a swirling river of time.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
In this model, you can visualize yourself standing in the center of a circle, grounded in the present moment.
Okay.
This circle is divided in half,
Okay.
with one side representing the past and the other representing the future.
Gotcha.
From the future side, countless timelines.
Yeah.
Those streams we talked about flow toward you,
Okay.
pass through you in the present, and continue their journey into the past.
So we're constantly being surrounded and even flowed through by different timelines or streams in time.
Yes.
This is already making me think about time differently.
It's a really cool way to look at it.
Yeah, but are all these time streams the same?
That's a key question.
Okay.
The 360-degree time compass model suggests that there are different types of time streams.
Okay.
Some are familiar, almost invisible, like brushing your teeth or going for a walk.
Yeah.
We do these things without much conscious thought. They just happen.
Right. Those everyday routines and habits
Exactly.
that make up a lot of our lives.
Yeah.
They almost feel automatic.
Exactly. But then there are other time streams that require more effort and awareness.
Okay.
Think about learning a new skill, building a meaningful relationship, or working towards a challenging goal.
Yeah.
To engage with these time streams, we need to be more intentional.
Right.
To actively choose to step into them.
So it's like we have a choice in which time streams we allow to become part of our experience.
Exactly.
Some just sweep us along, while others we have to actively seek out and engage with.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, cool.
And there's another category of time streams,
Okay.
the ones that are unfamiliar, maybe even a little confusing.
Okay.
These represent unexplored opportunities,
Yeah.
fears we haven't faced, or paths we haven't considered.
These unfamiliar time streams sound intriguing, but also maybe a bit intimidating.
Yeah, they can be.
So how do we know which time streams to engage with?
That's a really good question.
How do we navigate this constant flow effectively?
That's where the real power of this model comes in.
Okay.
And what we'll explore more in the next part of our deep dive.
I'm excited to hear about it.
But one of the core ideas is that people who seem to achieve a lot in their lives, who seem to make the most of their time, are those who've learned to consciously switch between these different time streams.
Like they're masters of time management.
Yeah.
But on a whole other level.
Precisely. They're not just scheduling their day efficiently.
Right.
They're choosing which time streams to prioritize, which ones to invest their energy in, and they're curious about those unfamiliar streams.
Okay.
Willing to explore new possibilities and step outside their comfort zones.
So it's not about cramming more into our schedules,
Right.
but about making more conscious choices about how we interact with time itself.
Yes, and a crucial part of that is staying grounded in the present moment. The people who master this model don't get lost in endless daydreams about the future or dwell in the past.
Yeah.
They are present and engaged in the now, even while accessing and utilizing elements from other time streams.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
Being present in the moment while also being aware of the possibilities flowing around us.
Yes.
And choosing which ones to engage with.
Exactly.
It's a very dynamic view of time.
It is, and one that blends elements of philosophy, psychology, and practicality.
Yeah.
Philosophically, it challenges our linear perception of time. Psychologically, it highlights how our choices and perceptions influence our experience of time. And on a practical level, it offers a framework for making more deliberate choices about how we spend our time.
That's what makes this model so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It's not just a theory.
Right.
It has the potential to be a real tool for personal growth and development.
Exactly. And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how to put this model into practice, using tools and techniques to actively navigate our time streams and make the most of every moment.
Fantastic. I can't wait.
Hey there, awesome listener. Want to know something exciting? In this episode, Marsha and John give away 20 free copies of the amazing book Beyond Words. Head over to podcast.thehouseofcoaching.com right now to claim yours. Remember, once they're gone, they're gone.
So we've established that the 360-degree time compass model presents a pretty radical shift in how we think about time.
It really is.
It's not just a straight line,
right,
but a multi-dimensional field with all these different time streams flowing around us.
Yeah, it's a very different way of thinking about it.
But now I'm really curious to understand how we can actually put this into practice. It all sounds a bit abstract.
That's a great point. The beauty of this model is that it's not just a theoretical concept.
Right.
It's meant to be applied in our lives.
Okay.
And it works really well in conjunction with other methodologies you might already be familiar with.
Like what, for instance?
Well, think about things like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming,
Okay.
or CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. These approaches provide practical techniques that we can use to navigate our time streams more consciously.
Okay, that's starting to make more sense.
Yeah.
So the 360-degree time compass gives us the big picture view of time.
Exactly.
And then we can use these other tools to work with specific time streams and make changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, let's say you keep finding yourself stuck in a negative time stream.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that feeling of being stuck in a rut, repeating the same unproductive patterns over and over again.
Oh, I think we've all been there at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those negative patterns can be so frustrating.
They really can. But with the 360-degree time compass model, we can use techniques like reframing,
Okay.
which comes from NLP, to shift our perspective on these negative time streams.
I've heard of reframing,
Yeah.
but could you break it down for us
Sure.
in the context of the 360-degree time compass?
Of course. Imagine you have a time stream dominated by the belief, I'm not good enough.
Okay.
This belief might be affecting your career choices, relationships, or even your health. Reframing encourages you to explore the origins of that belief,
Okay.
to understand how it's impacting you, and then consciously choose to reframe it into a more empowering belief.
So instead of I'm not good enough,
Right.
you might shift to I'm constantly learning and growing.
Exactly.
Or I have unique strengths and talents, that kind of thing.
Exactly. You're actively choosing to step into a different time stream.
Okay.
One where that limiting belief no longer holds you back. It's like hitting the reset button on that old negative pattern.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
But what about those unfamiliar time streams we talked about earlier?
Yes.
The ones that represent new opportunities or unexplored paths.
Yeah.
How do we even begin to approach those?
That's where curiosity comes into play.
Okay.
The 360-degree time compass encourages us to embrace curiosity as our guide when exploring those uncharted territories.
Okay.
What have you always wanted to do but haven't yet explored? What are those someday goals that keep getting pushed to the back burner?
I think everyone has a list like that. Learning a new language, writing a book, starting a business,
Absolutely.
traveling to a new country, those kinds of things.
Exactly. So what steps can you take today to start exploring one of those paths?
Okay.
It might be as simple as doing some research, signing up for a class, or talking to someone who's already pursuing that path.
Okay.
The key is to take action, to start dipping your toes into that new time stream, even if it feels a bit uncertain.
So it's about being proactive and not letting fear hold us back from exploring new possibilities.
Yes, and this is where CBT techniques such as cognitive restructuring can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
Cognitive restructuring helps us challenge those limiting beliefs and assumptions that might be preventing us from stepping into those new time streams.
Gotcha.
It's about recognizing those thought patterns and consciously choosing to replace them with more positive and empowering ones.
So it's almost like we're rewiring our brains
Yeah.
to be more open to new experiences and opportunities.
That's a great way to put it. But with all this talk about past and future time streams, how do we make sure we're not neglecting the present moment?
That's a really important point with all this focus on navigating different time streams. It would be easy to lose sight of the here and now.
Exactly. And that's why the 360-degree time compass emphasizes the importance of staying grounded in the present moment.
Okay.
Techniques like mindfulness and NLP's timeline therapy can be incredibly valuable for this.
Could you elaborate on how those techniques help us stay anchored in the now, even while we're exploring these other time streams?
Of course, mindfulness practices such as breathing exercises or body scans help us cultivate present moment awareness. They bring our attention to the sensations, thoughts, and emotions we're experiencing right now without judgment.
Yeah.
It's about slowing down, tuning into our senses, and simply being present with whatever's happening in this moment.
It sounds like mindfulness is about creating a sense of calm and clarity amidst all the swirling time streams around us.
Exactly. And then NLP's timeline therapy can be a powerful tool for working with our past and future time streams in a way that empowers us in the present.
Okay.
It involves visualizing our timelines, reframing past experiences, and setting intentions for the future, all while staying anchored in the present moment.
So it's like we're taking a step back from the constant flow of time to gain a clearer perspective on our journey.
Yes.
And make more conscious choices about where we want to go.
Precisely. It's about becoming the author of our own time rather than just being swept along by its currents.
It's a really empowering way to think about time management.
It is, isn't it? And to help you visualize this model even more clearly, imagine it like a video game.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How does time become a video game?
Picture a game where you're strategically jumping between colored squares, each representing a different time stream.
Okay.
Green squares might symbolize positive opportunities, exciting new paths, or moments of growth and expansion.
I don't like where this is going. So we're not just passively moving through time. We're actively choosing which squares to jump to, which time streams to engage with.
Yes, and maybe there are some blue squares representing periods of rest, reflection, or integration.
Okay.
Times when we need to pause, recharge, and assess our progress.
But it's not all about constant striving and achieving.
Right.
It's also about recognizing the importance of rest and rejuvenation.
Absolutely. And of course, there could be purple squares representing those unfamiliar time streams, the ones that spark our curiosity and invite us to step outside our comfort zones.
Yeah.
The key is that you as the player have the power to choose to change direction and to create the kind of life you truly desire.
This is such a fun and engaging way to visualize the 360-degree time compass model.
It is.
It really drives home the point that we have more agency in how we experience and utilize time than we often realize.
Exactly. And in the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some specific techniques and exercises you can use to start putting this model into practice and become a more conscious navigator of your own time streams.
Ready to unlock hidden potential in yourself and others? Discover the transformative power of NLP at the House of Coaching. Whether you're a business leader, entrepreneur, parent, teacher, or someone passionate about personal growth, our NLP practitioner and master practitioner programs give you practical tools to create positive change. Learn powerful communication techniques, understand what drives human behavior, and master the art of influence with integrity. Visit www.houseofcoaching.com and take the first step toward mastering the psychology of excellence.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the 360-degree time compass.
It's been quite a journey so far, hasn't it?
It really has.
We've explored how this model challenges our traditional linear view of time and encourages us to think of time as a multidimensional field.
Right.
Filled with these flowing time streams.
It's a pretty mind-blowing concept when you really start to think about it.
Absolutely.
And we've talked about how we can use techniques from NLP and CBT to navigate these time streams more consciously and intentionally.
Right.
But before we wrap up, I'm eager to hear about those specific techniques you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
The ones we can use to start putting this model into practice in our own lives.
Absolutely. Let's dive into some practical exercises.
Great.
One technique that I find particularly helpful comes from NLP, and it's called logical level alignment.
Okay.
This exercise helps you align a specific time stream with your deeper values, your identity, and your overall goals.
So it's about making sure that the way we're spending our time is in harmony with who we are and what we truly want to achieve.
Precisely. Let's say you're feeling stuck in a time stream related to your career.
Oh.
Maybe you're feeling unfulfilled or uncertain about your path.
Yeah.
Using logical level alignment, you would explore this time stream through different lenses,
Okay.
starting with your environment.
Okay, so when you say environment, what do you mean exactly?
Think about the physical space where this time stream plays out.
Okay.
Where do you spend most of your time when you're engaged in this particular stream? What's the atmosphere like?
Gotcha.
Then you'd examine your behaviors.
Okay.
What are you actually doing within this time stream? What are your daily routines and actions?
Yeah.
Next, you'd consider your skills.
Okay.
What tools, knowledge, or resources do you have that are supporting you in this time stream? And what skills might you need to develop further?
It's like taking inventory of our current situation in this time stream, seeing where we are and what we're working with.
Exactly. And then we move to a deeper level.
Okay.
Examining our beliefs.
Okay.
What beliefs do we hold about this time stream?
Yeah.
Are these beliefs supporting us or hindering us?
Right.
For example, maybe you believe that success in your career requires sacrificing your personal life. Is this belief serving you or holding you back?
That's a good question.
Finally, we connect it to our identity.
Okay.
Who do we need to be to thrive in this time stream?
Yeah.
What qualities or values do we need to embody?
Right.
And how does this time stream align with our overall purpose and sense of self?
Wow, that's a really thorough way to dissect a time stream and see how it fits into the bigger picture of our lives.
It is.
But once we've gone through this process of examination, what's the next step?
The key is to then identify specific actions you can take at each of these levels
Okay.
to bring the time stream into greater alignment with your values and goals.
Gotcha.
So, for example, if you realize that your work environment is draining your energy,
Yeah.
you might start looking for a new job
Fair.
or explore ways to make your current workspace more inspiring. If you discover that you're lacking certain skills,
Right.
you could sign up for a course or a workshop. If you identify a limiting belief, you could use reframing techniques to shift that belief into a more empowering one.
So it's about making conscious choices and taking intentional steps to shift the direction of that time stream
Exactly.
to make it work for us rather than against us.
Exactly. And another helpful tool for prioritizing our time streams comes from the world of time management.
Okay.
It's called the Eisenhower Principle.
Okay.
Have you heard of this one?
I think so.
Yeah.
It involves categorizing tasks based on urgency and importance. Right?
Yes, that's it. It's a fantastic way to bring more awareness to how we're allocating our time and energy across different time streams. You can categorize your time streams into 4 quadrants. Those that are important and urgent but not urgent but not important,
Right.
and neither urgent nor important.
So the classic time management advice is to focus on those important and urgent tasks first.
Exactly.
But how does this apply to the 360-degree time compass model?
Well, it helps us see which time streams we might be overemphasizing and which ones we might be neglecting.
Okay.
For instance, those important but not urgent streams like learning a new skill, nurturing a relationship, or taking care of our health often get pushed aside because they don't have that immediate pressure of a deadline.
Right.
But in the long run, those streams are essential for our overall well-being and fulfillment.
Absolutely.
By using the Eisenhower Principle within the context of the 360-degree time compass, we can make sure that we're dedicating time and energy to those important but not urgent streams,
Okay.
even if they don't feel as pressing in the moment.
It's about creating a more balanced and intentional approach to how we spend our time.
Exactly. And remember, there are countless other techniques and exercises you can explore to become a more conscious navigator of your time streams.
Right.
You can use reframing to release the negative hold of past experiences, visualization to explore new possibilities,
Yeah.
and mindfulness practices to stay grounded in the present moment.
This 360-degree time compass model is such a rich and multifaceted approach to time management.
It really is.
It feels like we've only scratched the surface in this deep dive.
We have, but hopefully this has given you a taste of its potential and inspired you to explore it further.
It definitely has. And to our listeners, we encourage you to take some time to reflect on this model and see how you can apply it to your own life.
Yeah.
What time streams are you currently engaged in?
Right.
Which ones do you want to explore further?
Yeah.
And what techniques can you use to become a more conscious and intentional navigator of your time?
As a final thought, remember the video game analogy?
Oh, yeah.
We each have the power to choose which squares we jump to, which time streams we engage with.
Right.
What kind of game do you want to create for yourself?
That's a wonderful image to leave us with. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the 360-degree time compass.
It's been a pleasure.
We wish you a 2025 filled with purpose, joy, and the wisdom to make the most of every precious moment.
Absolutely.
You've been listening to the House of Coaching podcast, where real transformation happens one conversation at a time.
If today's insights sparked your interest, hit that like button and subscribe. You would not want to miss what's coming up next as Marsha and John take you behind the scenes of more transformative sessions with our master coaches. Visit thehouseofcoaching.com, connect with us on LinkedIn, and join a community of forward-thinking professionals who are reshaping the future of business.
John and Marsha spark the flames, coaching tips to fit your aims. No more playing simple games. Unlock the power deep inside. Let the house of coaching be a guide. Run the race with giant strides. No more reasons left to hide. Bring out the best in you. Feel the sky turn blue. Every challenge push on through.